짐승이라 함은 세상 천지를 혼란스럽게 하는 세 마리 괴물이여.
그리고 상급문은 그 세 마리 짐승으로부터 이 땅을 수호하는 관리국의 별동대라.
그것은 천년이 흘러도 변치 않을 우리의 운명일세.
그 운명이라는 것은 영원토록 돌고 도는 저주와 같구나. 뜻을 행함에 있어 필요한 것은 칼 한 자루요. 이번에야말로 그 악순환을 끊어낼 테니. 관리국 상고문 별동대원 연화, 범 잡으러 가오. 노라고 잡구나. 넋이 나갈 때까지. 흩어져라. 헉, 굽이치기. 바람은 솟아오르고 산은 휘몰아쳐라. 애써 도망치려 노력해도 당신은 끝끝내 날 쫓아오고 마는구나. 카운터사이드 메인 에피소드 14 봐라.
Hey everyone, today we are going to be doing a review video for Yeonhwa, which is the latest awakening character that was added to the game with the last patch, and I played around with her since her release and I came to pretty good conclusions and satisfied enough to share it with you guys, so today we are making this video. So anyways, let's jump into video and talk about Yeonhwa. So quick summary for Yeonhwa, she is the 5 cost counter awakening defender, and she can attack the ground units, but her ultimate skill can actually hit the aerial units as well, which is pretty useful in PvP environments. And she also has a stability origin as well, so that will be effective against those enemies within PVE Contents. Moving on to her skill, the main thing is definitely her passive skill. It gives immunity to hit stun from special lower skills, and also gives a range damage res. Also gives immune to skill cooldown, which is really amazing. And she also has enhanced attack that can do true AoE damage in front every 8 seconds, and she will get additional benefits after using this enhanced attack, such as giving her more attack boost permanently, as well as giving barriers, which is a key to her survivability. Her special skill is also really amazing buff skill that buffs her, giving her stun immunity as well as a damage reduction 30%, and this damage reductions will be also applying to allied defenders and strikers within the zone. And Yeonhwa is also able to do additional damage to the enemies within the zone, which is scaling with her special skill. So she's a very offensive unit with this buff applied to herself as well. Lastly, her ultimate skill, which is a true AoE damage doing strong airborne attacks, as well as able to remove the zone created by her special skills to boost up her skill damage, and it also resets the special skill cooldown and also gives immunity to hit stun from ultimates or lower skill for 20 seconds after casting her skill. So to summarize it, Yeonhwa is pretty good DPS units for 5 cost defender, I will say, thanks to her true AoE damage capability with her enhanced attack as well as the ultimate skill, and her special skill is also very nice survivability buff to herself as well as her allies as well. The main thing is, of course, is the barriers that she gets from her passive skill after using enhanced attack, and maintaining that barrier is going to be the core part of it, and long as you have that, she will be surviving a lot of hits from the enemies, so make sure to try to keep that up and you should be having pretty good time with her. Next is the gear option for Yeonhwa. I initially started with the relic cooldown sets because that's the best I had, and it was pretty successful, but I think in my opinion, her exclusive gears is the best option for her, and it's definitely worthwhile farming with your resources. So I highly do recommend it if you like this character. If you want to use this character, farming her gear is going to be the best option for her. And for option wise, option 1, either you can go with the damage res, but I do kind of recommend skill haste because I think you really want to use special and ultimate skill fast as possible. So that's probably going to be the best options. And also anti-ground damage res for option 2. And as you farm this gear, you're gonna come across many different pieces, and you're gonna come across HP 2 sets as well as cooldown sets, and those are the 2 sets you want to be keeping as well. If you get really amazing luck with the latent rolls, probably want to keep those pieces and also roll those pieces into either of those 2 sets. I think HP 2 sets with the skill haste option 1 seems to be the best option for PvP, but also I find the cooldown with the skill haste is definitely much more squishy compared to the initial HP 2 set options, but also much more offensive and more fun. So it's either if you can keep her alive during that week, then you can go along with the cooldown set. If you think it's too much trouble to keep her alive, then I will definitely go with the HP 2 sets, which guarantee her survivability much better than the cooldown set for sure. So let's go and talk about Yeonhwa within PVE Contents first. I would say there is tons of other replacement for the same cost that you can use. I think Surya is generally better if you want to have 5 cost defender within your team. It gives nice DPS boost, as well as herself can actually absorb the damage from your allies. So it really boosts up your survivability for your team in more challenging content. Not to mention her damage output is pretty good for 5 costs, I would say. So she really takes the spots, and if you want some really standalone strong tanker that can actually do a lot of damage and also have amazing survivability, Estarossa for 5 costs is going to be much better option than Yeonhwa. I think against the stability enemies, of course, Yeonhwa is going to be having more upper hands into those specific situations, but generally for most of players, I feel like Estarossa is the best option for 5 cost units in general PvE or more challenging PvE contents. So it's kind of hard to recommend her over Estarossa if we're only looking at those aspects. Still really fancy character, really good stability character to be using in my opinions. So if you like this character, I don't think she is going to be disappointing in terms of performance. But like I said, if you like her, if she's a character you have, you are going to be breezing through content with her because she is that good and can carry through many different aspects within the game. Lastly is the PvP Contents, and I'll just summarize it short. Yeonhwa is definitely part of the meta units. She is that good. I think for 5 cost unit, she does brings amazing amount of value to the battlefield, so she's definitely worthwhile to use. But let's talk about her main weakness first, is that despite it gives her amazing survivability, which is her barrier that's casted after using her enhanced attack, is also a big weakness. So it's a barrier that can be removed and reflux, so something like Naubin as well as Awakened Guardian, they can reflux those barriers really easily and you are going to be in deep trouble. And not to mention something like Yuna can just remove the barriers and apply anti-buff to Yeonhwa, as well as Nilla is going to be a big threat as well. So it's not going to be that easy to keep her alive because there are going to be a couple characters that can just bypass that pretty easily. Not to mention for operator sides, we have New Edition, which is Ichizu, and she really slaps defenders and striker unit like nobody else can do. So yeah, Yeonhwa will get deleted instantly if you run into that. And Shasha and Asha is still very scary option to run into as well. So yeah, it won't be easy as you think to really use her with the meta environments, but still she has other aspects to really make her stand out. I think cooldown immunity is the big part of it. I think that's the one part Estarossa really lacks, but she really excels in that spot. And the damage reduction she can give with her special skill is also really amazing. Not to mention the ultimate skill is also really amazing damage potentials, and she got a lot of true AoE damage potential as well. Last thing I want to mention is, since I got very similar questions again, is that is Yeonhwa better than Estarossa, or should I go for Estarossa instead since both banners are up? I personally think both units are unique and good on their own, but personally I think Estarossa is just a better unit and also easier to use. The 2 token aspect she has is just too good to pass on. it is just brain dead units in terms of usage. It is just so easy to use. Of course, you still need to keep her alive to really see the true potential for sure. So there is some of the drawback there, but I think Esterosa is just overall better units, and I will put her in the higher tier for sure. I think what Yeonhwa lacks is the skill seal immunity. I think if she had that immune from the Ohio and some other units, is going to be what makes her really unstoppable and offensive unit that has no stopping from her using her ultimate skill. So I would really like to see that in the future with the reactor or the buff, because that will be the one last missing piece to make her really amazing while not touching her survivability, which already is pretty amazing long as she can keep her barriers. So I personally think they don't really need to give anything with the barriers. Like, don't change that into uncancelable barrier. That's going to be just cancerous unit. Then I think she'll be just unstoppable. If she gets a barrier that's 30% of her HP every 8 seconds that cannot be cancelled out, that will be insane. But they didn't go that route, of course. So there's some balance aspects to that, and like I said, she's really amazing units for sure. For 5 costs is pretty amazing offensive. It's just that I wish there was just a skill seal immunity, and that will make her, in my opinion, perfect 5 cost offensive defender units. If I wanted to be more greedy, I think they can give her more benefits if she consumes her like zones as she uses her ultimate skill. So if you consume all the 3 zones, which is not the easiest things to do, not too hard. So if she missed the requirement, maybe she will get like 30% attack speed boost that will give her more DPS cycle and such. That could be pretty nice. So it's really up to developers, and I'm pretty sure maybe next year she will get something like reactors and stuff. But if she's gotten one, I think that's what I would do in terms of upgrading this units than what it is at the moment. But that's enough for this video. You heard me yap enough. Bottom line is, Yeonhwa is really amazing 5 cost Awakening Defender, and if you like her by any reason in terms of design or skill animation or whatever, you should be also satisfied with her performance throughout PvP as well as PvE content. So that is pretty much it for me for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys next time with more video. Thanks for watching.